this video, I'm going to count down the top 10 worst Black Series figures made thus far in the line. That's next, stick around. What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Nerdzoic! If you're new here, welcome my nerdy friend. This is Nerdzoic. On this channel, you'll find a patent-pending blend of action figures and nostalgia and just general nerdiness. If you dig that sort of thing, be sure to hit the subscribe button and come back every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. for a new video. A few weeks back, I made a video counting down my top 10 best Black Series figures made so far in the line. Link right there. If that list represents the light side of the Force, then today, we're going to the dark side. So strap in. I'm going to count down and roast the 10 worst Black Series figures that Hasbro has so graciously given us. Coming in at number 10 is Darth Vader. This was released as part of the Blue Line, number 2 to be specific, back in 2014. To be perfectly honest, at one point I actually thought this was a decent figure. Specifically, I gotta give a major props for the removable head so we can get all burned up Anakin inside. My favorite scene of any of the movies, by the way. But the fact is that this just doesn't, it's no bueno. No bueno. Here's why. 1, his eyes look like he's Baxter Stockman. What's up with the bugged out eyes? I know Vader has these big dark eyes, but yeah, this is a little too bug-like for me. 2, he's got no neck. He looks like he's been spending all of his day in Gold's Gym. And 3, there's just a little bit too much cape. It's almost like Christopher Walken was in charge of the design here with the cape, and he just kept saying, he looks good, but I need more cape. I know, my Christopher Walken sucks. Despite the fact that this is the worst Black Series Darth Vader released, it's still going above its original price. Currently, it can be had on eBay for somewhere in the $30 range. 9. Number 9 on our list is X-Wing pilot Poe Dameron. Whew! This was released in 2015 as part of the current Red Line and was number 7 in the line. The stubble looks like he's got a black smudge on his face. He looks terrible. It doesn't look anything like Oscar Isaac. This one should not be confused with Chimney Sweep Poe Dameron, which is very similar, because this figure seriously could have been in Mary Poppins with the smudge that's all over his face. I think that's supposed to be stubble, but it looks like he just got dirty. Maybe it's coal miner Poe Dameron. I've heard some people say that he looks like Sloth from the Goonies in this figure. Yeah, I can see that. To pick up this masterpiece on eBay, you're looking at about $14 if you act now. Woo! What a bargain. He doesn't exactly have the best facial expression either. That doesn't help. Poe, X-Wing, number 9. 8. Coming in at number 8 is a figure so bad they actually had to make a running change very quickly. That is, of course, the 2016 Princess Leia in her New Hope attire. This figure was released as number 30 in the Red Line and was such a bad-looking figure that they actually updated it very quickly for the 40th anniversary Princess Leia. The standard release was so bad that I couldn't bring myself to actually pay money for it. I do, however, here we go, have the 40th anniversary one. This one I absolutely love. It looks like Carrie Fisher, it's a great figure, and plus, look, she's not wearing a shower curtain. Yeah, so the first one, she definitely has a shower curtain look going on. Her facial expression in the original, it's really bad. It looks like one of the miniatures I painted, which isn't good. If you want to add one of these ugly Leia figures, you can do it for about 14 bucks on eBay. So yeah, Princess Leia, number 8. 7. Moving to number 7 is another figure from the Blue Line that has since been re-released. This is, of course, Emperor Palpatine. Or possibly Pruneface. Seriously, this figure was not good. The fact that they made such an awesome Emperor just a few years later that was featured somewhere in my top 10 list really shows the improvements made by Hasbro. This was released in 2015, again as part of the Blue Line, number 11 to be specific. Seriously, this thing looks like Pruneface or the California Raisin. It's like they couldn't decide if they wanted Revenge of the Sith Palpatine or Return of the Jedi Palpatine, so they just made this mutated conglomeration of the two. Nonetheless, both of the Emperor Palpatine figures are blowing up. Right now, if you want to pick this one up, it's going to cost you around $32 on eBay. 6. Alright, number 6 might actually garner some complaints from people and a little bit of backlash even, because it's a newer figure and it does have the Hasbro face scan technology. I'm going with the Yavin ceremony Luke Skywalker. So this was released just last year, 2019, as part of the Red Line, and it's figure number 100. Now, in theory, the figure's good. I've seen some that look great. The reason this made the list is because of inconsistency. If you hold up different figures of the same exact figure, they look kind of different. The paint job on Luke's face, totally inconsistent from figure to figure. I've seen some that look so bad it looks like he's wearing blush. Some people might love this Luke, but I'm not a fan. Despite being a somewhat recent release, Yavin Luke's only going for about 12 bucks on eBay, so make sure you don't pay full price if you want to pick this up, and be sure to zoom in on the pictures to make sure you're getting one with a decent paint job.
5.
Coming in at number 5, Princess Leia makes her second appearance on this list. You can probably guess where I'm going with this. This is the 2013 Slave Leia. This was released as part of the Orange Line figure number 5. Where to begin with this? So first of all, it's got really weird joints that get, one, they look terrible. 2, they don't work all that well. Next, her skirt, which has been referred to by many as a participation medal. The likeness is poor, which honestly can be said for most of the human characters early on in the line, with the only exception really being Bisping Han. There's probably more, but that's the only one that comes to mind. At this point, this figure is a gigantic candidate for the archive collection. But the question becomes, will Disney allow us to have Leia in her slave gear in a toy aisle? I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, it is 2020 and all, but Slave Leia is kind of a controversial topic. Sometimes they like to call her Jabba's prisoner. Whatever you want to call her, it's Leia in the gold bikini. Just call it that. One of the other reasons I like to see this figure come back in the archive line is because it's going for around 50 bucks on the secondary market right now. So if you want a Slave Leia in the 6-inch scale, it's going to cost you.
4.
Number 4 is another second timer on this list, and it's Captain Poe Dameron. I somehow have a mint on card and loose version because I think I found them at Ollie's, which is a discount retailer here in Harrisburg. And I think I only paid like 5 bucks a figure, and it was an accident. I didn't mean to buy this figure twice, but I did. This is supposed to depict Poe from The Last Jedi. It's part of the red line, and it's figure number 53. So once again, doesn't look like Oscar Isaac. In fact, this one looks a little bit more to me like either Tony Danza or like a Scott Baio Tony Danza mashup. If you want to pick this up on eBay, don't bother, but it's 12 bucks. Get out of here, Poe. They fly now?
3.
Coming in at number 3, the Guavian Enforcer. I wonder if I'm saying that right. This figure was released in 2015 as part of the red line. It's number 14, and it was released right around the time The Force Awakens came out. This character, of course, had a very brief appearance in the movie, and my biggest complaint, and the reason it's on here, it's not necessarily a bad figure, it's more that I hate the character design. It looks like a Kmart Deadpool. Seriously, this looks like the dollar store was trying to make a Deadpool figure, and this is what they came up with. If you want to pick up the Guavian Enforcer, much like the other red card releases that didn't do so well, about 14 bucks on eBay. You could be Deadpool stunt double in your Marvel Legends display.
2.
Number 2 is probably not going to surprise anybody, but making his first appearance on the list, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is the Revenge of the Sith release, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It came out as number 10 in the orange line back in 2013, then unforgivably was repacked in the blue line as number 8 in 2014. Hasbro, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, well, shame on me for buying it twice. But come on, guys, you can't repack a crappy figure. As I said before, this looks more like Ewan McGregor battling a bout of constipation than it does Obi-Wan Kenobi. Between being cross-eyed and the crappy paint job, it comes across as just a rough figure that we got twice. Nonetheless, as one of the first figures released in the line, it's going for close to 50 bucks if you want to pick one up. This is another figure I'd love to see an archive of, with an updated face. Before I give you my number 1 worst figure in the entire Black Series line, I have a couple honorable mentions. So the first one is Constable Zuvio. So this is a character, if you don't know, who's actually not a bad looking action figure, but he got cut from the movie. Unfortunately, he didn't get cut from the toy line, meaning he clogged the pegs at Target and Walmart for about a year and a half until they finally gave up and sold him off for like 3 bucks. It's a shame because looking at the design, I could totally see this being a character that fans go crazy for and make up crazy fanfiction backstories for, but he needs to be in the movie for that to happen. Another honorable mention is IG-88. Now the figure itself, sculpt-wise, looks good. In fact, if I was going to judge this from a mint on card perspective, it would be actually towards the top. The problem is, the figure doesn't stand and it's got this gummy exterior to it.
1.
Alright, without further ado, the number 1 worst figure that the Black Series has made to date, according to Nerdzoic that is. Drum roll please, it's the Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight from the blue line. The biggest issue, again, bad face scan, so it does not look like Mark Hamill. This looks like Mark Hamill is a Muppet. This looks like Mark Hamill scared straight. This looks like Mark Hamill just it doesn't look like Mark Hamill. This is one that Hasbro just this year finally fixed. And to be honest, until they fixed it, I didn't realize how much I hated this figure, much like the Vader figure. So this was a Walmart exclusive this year. They released the updated Jedi Luke. So much better. I never picked this up in the blue line, and I'm glad, because now I could pick it up, the new good version, and I'm not going to pick up the blue line one because I just don't like it. That's my top 10 worst figures. I hope you enjoyed this painful trip down the toy aisle. If you want to tell me how wrong I am, go ahead and hit me up in the comments, and I'll try to respond back to everybody. If you enjoyed the Black Series, then I'm going to link right up here to a playlist of the various Black Series videos I've made. You can find things like reviews, wish lists, and countdowns in there. If it was more the inherent drama of the countdown that made this video enjoyable to you, check out this video of all my countdown videos. As always, to ensure you don't miss any new videos, go ahead and Dusty Rhodes Bionic Elbow the subscribe button before you forget. Until next time, stay cool, stay nerdy.